Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Predictions and Prophecies show. I am Matt Mad Dog. I will be joined by Bad Guy Jack and Sabrina Estella, the wrestling doll. Excited for tonight. We're going to be predicting this Saturday's Halloween Havoc show. Very, very excited for that. We're going to run the intro. After that, we are going to go on the air. So let's run the intro. Here we go. Let's take that down, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween Havoc is Saturday. I am Jason Voorhees with the machete and everything. When the blood actually likes to drip. There we go. There you go. You see it. You see it. And who are you guys? I see you guys are also dressed up today. Got Bad Guy Jack and Wrestling Doll with me tonight.
Go, Sabrina Stowe. Who are you tonight, madam?
Well, I am the longest reigning Divas champion and the Hall of Famer, Nikki Bella.
Cool. So, I know on Tuesday we were talking about what costume we're going to wear and stuff like that. And at the last minute, I was like, man, I should have worn my Sonic Quills. But I found this Abyss match just laying around. I said, why not be Abyss? He was I forget if he was the TNA or NWA champion, but he was TNA's monster. So I am TNA's monster, Abyss. What
amazing.
locks?
I love it. I remember Abyss. He was just in WWE like a year ago or so.
I thought he still was.
Yeah.
He's still
mistaken. Guys, we got a great card and a great show for you tonight. I'm gonna swing this machete around before hopefully I don't lose control of it and it goes flying. I hope not. That would be
an awful show, Matt. I think you should make sure we don't see a stabbing here.
Well, that's why do you think I put it down, good sir? Why do you think I put it down? Anyway, let's start laying down this card. So, before we get to this card, Halloween Havoc, I have my notes here, actually. It's going to take place in the desert at the... Hold on, I gotta get this back up because my phone locked because I have it on the battery mode. So, I always do that when we do shows. I always put it on low battery mode because my battery always dies. So, this show will take place in Findlay Toyota Center. So, at the Findlay Toyota Center in Prescott Valley, Arizona.
Which makes sense why I'm dressed as Nikki, because she is from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay.
This is true.
This is
that is quite the explanation.
I actually did not know that. Okay, wow. Well, so I have to ask.
Oh, come on, man. This is Abyss. MD, he wasn't here on Tuesday, but he wanted to make sure to get me worked up, and I'm glad that you are here. MD be hogging up all the nines. I didn't mean to take off your show, but he attacked me by sitting there calling me the Black Mankind. I am black, and I am a man of kindness. But please take the floor.
All right, let's get into this card. So, this card is interesting. There's a lot of luchadors going to be on this card. I know a bit, Big Dad Cool. He loves his luchadors. Happy birthday to him, by the way. Shout out to Big Dad, our own Big Dad Cool. Happy birthday to him. And I believe, Bad Guy, you love your luchadors of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho here. I know you love your luchadors. Honestly. So let's start off with this.
You know what? You're absolutely right, Matt. Keep going. I'm sorry. Give me a minute.
Looks like I was going to start with our first match, ladies and gentlemen, but I guess I'm not.
I'm surrounded by beats.
Lost Bad Guy for a minute. I don't know what happened there.
This is going to be a great
goodness gracious me. Not this again. My goodness.
You brought
goodness.
Rey Mysterio, and everybody that watches our
goodness.
program knows does not
It never
like
fails. It
Mysterio.
never fails.
See, Sabrina Stella has worked with me for a long
you know
time.
what, George? Right here is the greatest
She-
luchador of all time. Actually, George, he's second. Eddie Guerrero's the first. Good sir. Okay.
Wow, I could tell you just started watching wrestling because the greatest luchador of
No,
all
I've
time
been watching
is one.
since I was like 3.
And when was that? Like yesterday? Anyway, my point is what I'm trying to make
30.
here.
Wow. You know, underneath
Okay.
this mask, I'm 30. Look how young this face is, good sir. Anyway, put the mask back on.
First off, the greatest luchador of all time. I know the show's already going off the rails, and I know it was going to happen because I'm on
He
this.
always does with
So
us.
first off, it's one. It is Juventud Guerrero, the juice. And right now, you are lacking juice. So I need you to go shopping.
No. Eddie Guerrero was the greatest. I agree. But Rey Mysterio is the second greatest, and you have to acknowledge Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio.
No. Actually, I don't have to do any of that. I have to breathe to live. I have to drink water to maintain good skin, and it's just good for you. No, Rey Mysterio is the greatest fraud that ever breathed. Now, Mad Dog, let's get back on track here. The greatest fraud to ever breathe.
Yes. Well,
Sabrina Stella, poor Sabrina. I'm so sorry.
Is going to be, I want to talk about is the 2 luchadors, Mr. Iguana and who's the other one? Hold on, I gotta get it up here.
That's La Parka.
Yes, thank you. And versus the young OGs. I'm gonna take it down. I was thinking.
You know, it's funny. When I did see La Parka on Tuesday, I immediately said that's not the same La Parka. So the La Parka I remember growing up, I was watching wrestling in the 90s. I don't even know if he was born in the 90s, Matt. Or you, Sabrina Stella, because I just feel like I'm so old here. But it was a totally different La Parka, so I'm pretty sure this is not the same La Parka, and it just amazes me that the La Parka character can keep going, and all you gotta do is have somebody else play the role. But this was the match that was announced on Tuesday. Javon and Javon were looking for some people to fight, and these guys from AAA came out and said, "Hey, why not? Let's do this." So, but I do got the young OGs, Javon and Leon Slate going over. I think it's going to be a fun match. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as saying that's probably going to be the match that opened up the show.
Yeah. What do you think, wrestling though? Who do you got for this? And then I'll go last, obviously, because.
Well, I agree. It'll be a fun, entertaining match. A lot of people enjoy Mystery Iguana, which I feel like this one's going to dress
By
like
the way, one of WWE's top merchandise sellers. I have to mention that again. It's one of WWE's top merchandise sellers.
I give it to the young OG and the TNA X Division champion.
What do you got, Mad Dog?
Yeah. I agree with you guys. I think the young OGs definitely have this in the back. I know George said the same thing. I do believe that you know it's gonna be the young OGs. I just don't see how TNA AAA guys are gonna come in and win this. They're just I no way. But this match is gonna go back forth. This is gonna be one of those high flying matches with a lot of high paced flips and all types of as you could say, spectacle in the ring. I'm very, very excited for this match. Hi there, welcome. And so the next match, right? I want to get to this one because this one is I'm really excited for this one, and this is one of my favorite belts of all time, actually. Is this next match we're gonna bring up. So you got here Ethan Page versus, I already know this, I don't need to look. That's Dr. L. Wagner. I think, how do you say it? El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. That's how you say it. I said it wrong the first time. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. Ethan Page has one of the greatest looking belts ever. You guys already know that my stance on that. I'm going to take it down. What do you guys think? of
Sabrina,
this
take the floor,
match.
please.
First of all, I feel like I need to borrow his list because every time you say that the peppermint patty belt looks good, it makes me want to get. It makes me want to.
I mean, it represents Canada very well. Let's face it.
I love that she keeps bringing in the because that was a character from Charlie Brown. That's why I laugh, because Peppermint Patty. That's what makes me chuckle every time.
No, George. No, it
The
does
belt
not look
does.
ugly.
You know,
I enjoy looking at All Ego Ethan Page on my TV screen because if anybody remembers the video once upon a time ago when the girls and I talked about our top 5 male wrestling crushes, which the video has now mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah.
I put him on my list, so I enjoy watching Ethan. However, I feel like he's going to have a very difficult time with El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., so I'm placing my bets on the non-home team guys, so to speak, and I'm referring to El Hijo de Dr. Wagner, not the Canadian who wants to pretend like he doesn't have any form of citizenship here in the United States.
the conversation in the chat is actually hilarious. I see Roderick saying he petitioned for Jacy to have a long run. I'm with you on that. But to answer the question here about this match, Ethan, real quick, Ethan has been doing some of the best work as the North American champion. Regardless on how I feel about the belt is just it's hard on the eyes. It's not a pleasure thing to look at. But I do see Ethan retaining against Dr. Wagner. These guys been feuding, I want to say months, because I feel like they've a few times have some kind of encounter in AAA, and that's why this feud is even happening. And with the North American Championship on the line, I don't see it leaving Ethan Page and going to another wrestler who's not contracted by WWE. So I got Ethan retaining here.
I agree with you, bad guy, on this. I think Ethan Page keeps retaining his belt. I don't see how they can give this to, once again, a AAA guy. And if they do, does that mean, Dr. Wagner comes to NXT? Now, there was reports, ladies and gentlemen, of course, of Dr. Wagner going to NXT, him and Mr. Iguana, because they're so well liked and respected. But their contracts don't run out, I want to say Iguana's runs out in December, and I think Wagner's is like next April or May off the top of my head. I don't know exactly when, but it is coming up, and I do see them being NXTers eventually, but I don't see it right now. I think they're kind of neat over there in AAA more. So I do want to get into some of our comments real quick before we continue our show. George says Dr. Wagner, and then here, Jacy Jayne having a long time like Roman Reigns.
Love it, Roger.
George said the belt ugly, and then Jacy Jayne will never be Roman Reigns. George says, and then after that, please let Jacy Jayne hold the belt for 1,316 days.
I would rebel on that.
At 160 now, so.
I would rebel on
then
that.
George said again, Jacy's not Roman, and then he said Don Cyril has the AAA. That is correct. I believe he does. Yes, and that's very exciting. And
also, if I could just throw out there, I just think that they wanted to get some of these AAA guys out there and just they just wanted to get them out there, because I was thinking about for whatever reason I just happened to think about Dr. Iguana. I mean, not Dr. Iguana. I fused them. Mr. Iguana, and honestly, I believe that they really these guys are great. I do want to throw out there, these guys are great. They're talented for some of the stuff that I've seen of them.
They're legends in the luchador world, by the way.
But
Wagner and Iguana.
I want to say that the real star. I want to say the real star was Jessica. She's fantastic. She's the real star here, and that's why they wanted to get, because they know Jessica would not be on this card unless Mr. Iguana was on. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Jessica. She's fantastic.
Question for you guys: let's just say if I'm wrong, whatever it is, Ethan Page loses, and Wagner Jr. does end up winning, would he change the belt? And if so, would he change it to like a Mexico belt? To represent Mexico? Because remember, we're changing it to every. We can change it to whatever we want. I guess that's how the rules.
No, I don't think it works in that matter. I think it revert back to the North American, the original design, the original look.
Which, by the way, fun fact, Mexico is in North America. So that would make a lot of sense, but I just don't see it. The next match I want to get into is I want to make sure I have it here, and I do. And I think I'm actually missing a match, and that's okay. I thought I had them all, but I guess I don't. Is the Dark State match versus the Hardys. I thought I had it here, but it doesn't look like I do, so I guess I did not insert it. But I know that's on the card. So sorry about that. I did miss one. I thought I had it here, but I don't see it here. So that's the next one we will talk about.
I guess I'll take the floor first here.
It's a broken rules match, whatever the hell that means. I guess
Means
like you
there's
guys
no
said Tuesday, no rules.
There's no rules. That's all it is. If it's a street fight, they come up with a million names for a street fight, but at the end of the day, there aren't any rules for it. And the Hardys are going to retain because DarkState having the belts is not a good look because they don't entice people to want to watch other than who the hell's going to take it off of them because they're boring.
Yeah, now we don't know what DarkState is going to represent the DarkState in this match. It could be any one of them. So, and I'm not going to go name through all of them because there's like 10 of them, like the Don Callis family. So
there's
Dion,
not that many. It's not
Cutler,
that
James,
much.
Osiris, Griffin, and Shaquan Shugars. There, I said all four.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I didn't know.
They're not
I
the
only know the one from LFG. I knew one of them was from LFG. That's like the only one I know.
I love the Don Callis family. I just want to throw it out there.
What's his? Which one was LFG? It was the Cutler one, right? Cutler was from LFG. Yeah.
I was gonna say
he was on LFG, and then they kicked him out because they said we need you in DarkState. It was fun.
I was gonna simply say usually in this match you have Leon Lennox usually in the match, and I forget who his partner is, but most of the time it's Leon Lennox. Which one is it?
The one with the dreads, Osiris.
Okay. Yeah. That's him. Yeah.
Yep, that's
he's the one who dropped the title. Yeah, he was the one who dropped the
title.
Yeah.
I was gonna say on Tuesday, I already had the Hardys retaining. I don't think DarkState are the team to take the titles off the Hard. But once they went broken, and this is almost like their super form in a way, I said there's definitely no chance DarkState is beating the Hardys. I feel like the team that does it is the team that they're gonna put the rocket on them, and I just don't see it being DarkState. And so to sum up everything that I have just said here, I have the broken Hardys going over and beating DarkState. And what does DarkState do from here? I do not know.
Right. So I also picked the Hardys. There's no way you're taking the belts off these guys. They just got it. They ain't losing. I'm really hoping they do a huge title run. Like they deserve it. I told you guys this on Tuesday, and I feel like this, and I feel still, the same way as I did Tuesday night when we reviewed our show. The Hardys deserve a long title run with those belts. If they're not going to get the World Tag titles or the Raw Tag titles or whatever titles they're calling them these days, they deserve a decent run with this. And then now that they're kind of back into WWE and all that stuff, maybe you can finally talk about them going into the Hall of Fame. You guys already know that the Hardy Boys are definitely Hall of Famers. I think Matt and Jeff, they both, won multiple championships in WWE, TNA, and W. These guys have been all over, and they're one of the greatest tag teams of all times. Even, Team 3D even said they're one of the greats. So they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and I hope they do run these NXT belts. Hopefully, at least they'll stand and deliver. That's what I'm hoping for. Maybe even past. I don't know. But I also picked the Hardys to retain this one. The next match we got
Sabrina
here,
didn't get her thought. Sabrina didn't get her thought, and I did want to comment a little bit on something that you said. But Sabrina, did you give your thoughts about?
Right. I just want to throw some of these comments up here real quick.
She just looked up. It's just almost like, what do you think? What do you think? That's Sabrina's thing. Like, yeah, what do you think? I just wanted to comment on something you were saying. You were saying like they should have a long run. I don't think they necessarily need to have a long run. The Hardy Boys are the Hardy Boys. They are this iconic team, and if they were to drop the titles, I mean, I don't see it dropping Saturday, but even if they did, no one's going to sit here and go like, well, I guess they don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame anymore. The longevity, the many memorable moments, many championship wins, like how you said, how influential that they are. They will one day be in the Hall of Fame together, and I believe also separate. I definitely see Jeff Hardy going in separate, and Matt Hardy had a pretty solid career as well. I don't want to take away from him either, but just I just felt like I felt like I would be remiss if I didn't say anything. But yeah, they're going to definitely be in the Hall of Fame one day. And I believe their TNA contracts are coming up. I've heard that. I don't know how official that is, but they I can see them being back in WWE at some point. I definitely can see that. They're always going to be WWE guys.
Right. Like I said, I personally hope you have a decent run with them. So sorry I didn't add the picture. My bad. I messed up there, but that's okay. Well, we still talked about the match, and that's great. Okay, the next match I want to talk about. I'm so excited for this. Zaria defending it in Sol Ruca's honor because Sol Ruca got injured versus Miss. I guess I'll let Wrestling Doll say it. You want to say?
Mariah Monroe.
There you go.
She put a smile on her face when she said she's so pleased with herself.
Yes. This match, throwing it back up there. I'm excited for, and this can go both ways, guys. I don't know. I want to hear you guys' take before I make my pick because I honestly don't know who to choose.
You want to take the floor, Sabrina?
I mean, as much fun as people have booing the ever-living hell out of Mariah Monroe, and would love to boo her even more for taking a belt that was never hers to technically take in the first place, I feel that Zaria might be able to retain it and keep the belt for her beloved friend. And there's always the storyline of the person coming in to defend the belt for the person that won it and always loses. We break cycles of certain things in wrestling. Let's break that one.
It's in the comments we got George. I can see how it's in the middle here because George is saying Zaria and Roderick is saying Blake. I know you're saying Mariah May, but I'm going to call her Blake. He got her winning. So this is interesting because I originally had Mariah May, Blake. See, because y'all say so much, but I had Blake beating Sol Ruca on Saturday. Now they put the title and they gave it to Zaria, and now I'm like, do they have her go in there first title defense and lose? She just lost to Mariah on 2 weeks ago, I want to say, or maybe a week ago, but she just lost to her. And now I'm like, do they do that again? Do they run it back? And I think that's pretty ballsy if they have her lose back to back like that. Talking about Zaria. So I'm in the middle here where I'm like, I don't know what we do here because I can see Blake taking that championship, but then I'm also like, but do they take it away from Zaria right now? And Zaria, I just think it would be a bad look for her to lose again. Like, it would just be really, really bad. I know they're going to put the rocket on Blake. Blake just got here a few months ago. I think I toss everything in the air. But if you tell me I have to make a decision, I think Zaria retains. I think she gets away with it. I'm going to go with Zaria.
I agree with you, bad guy. I believe Zaria's going to win. Right, you said Zaria, right? Did you also? Oh, you said Blake. So am I the only one going Zaria?
I said sorry. I just wanted to make sure you got patient.
Maybe I'm losing it. I don't know. I think I am.
No, it's rough, and I just want to put just a little bit of what George is saying. He said put Blake Monroe back in NXT Women's Championship picture after this. I don't think she's the one to take the title off of Jacy though. So you put her in there, and she'll lose.
I think she gets it eventually, but I don't think she gets it right now. Right?
Yeah, I don't think that. I think if you put her in there now, she's not going to take the title off, and you're going to get upset about that. What we got here? Also, I told you Jack Drawer will be defending. I told you Drawer will be defending Jacy all the way till the end, no matter what. We'll
get to that. That's actually the next match after the commercial. We're run a quick commercial back in the
Ooh.
NXT Women's Champion. We are going to run a quick commercial, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to get into the final 2 matches of Halloween Havoc. Let me just make sure I have the commercial here. I want to make sure I have it. I thought I do. Yes, I do. All right, going to run this commercial. We'll be right back. This is the Halloween Havoc prediction show. I still have the machete. I know you can't see it, but there it is. And we'll be right back. All right, that was our Wrestle Cruise. If you want to join UPR for a Wrestle Cruise, hit any one of us up, DM any one of us. We will get back to you with all the information on Wrestle Cruise. So please make sure you join us for that. That's going to be very exciting. I think the dates are WrestleMania weekend next April. So please hit any one of us up to get information and join us for Margaritaville at Sea. Wrestle Cruise. We'll be doing WrestleMania watch party. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm not sure if I'm going or not yet. We'll see. I might not. I don't know. We'll see. A lot of stuff's happening next year. I got planned, but right now I have planned with plans here with Wrestling Doll and Bad Guy Jack to finish up this prediction show. I still feel bad I didn't put the Hardys and DarkState in here, but it's okay. Must not got transferred over to the room, but that's okay. Stuff happens. The next one I do have is going to be probably match of the night, match of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Tatum Paxley versus Jacy Jayne. This might have match of the year contention, according to one Uncle Dave Meltzer. So I'm excited for this. Take that down. Okay, there we go.
I think I gotta take the floor here first. I mean, everyone knows how much I am a big fan of one Jacy Jayne. And I'm gonna give it to you both ways here. I don't even know what the hell that means, but I'm gonna give it to you. Here's the thing. I think Tatum is gonna go into this match. She's gonna have a lot of babyface, not syndrome, but she's going to be the big baby face. Everyone's going to want her to dethrone Jacy Jayne. They're going to be praying and hoping and saying, come on, girl, you can do it. And Jacy's going to beat her. I do see a betrayal from Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame was her friend on Tuesday, but deep down inside, she's jealous that her friend, good job. Do that, but use both fingers, please. Use both fingers for me. There we go. Thank you, Sabrina. Fantastic. But she sits there and be her friend, but that she's deep down jealous that it wasn't her getting the shot. She's going to cause it. She's going to be kicked out of, what's this group called? The Cullen. And she's going to get kicked out of the Cullen. I think a little, I don't know, because, see, Lara Valkyria been making a lot of appearances lately, so she's probably going to be there to back up her friend. But Jacy Jayne's retaining. And, look, Tatum, I think this is, some people are like, if I saw online, right? I saw people saying, if Tatum lose, then Shawn Michaels fumbled. No, it's not a fumble. I think this is a great spot for her to be. It's just not for her to take the title off. And people love Tatum. And that the whole thing is, and say what you want. If you don't like it, that's fine. But it's gonna be heartbreaking to see her lose. People are gonna be upset. Jacy's gonna get heat. What's her friend name? Izzy's gonna get heat, or her former friend's gonna get heat, and everyone's gonna be upset. So that's the direction they're going in. They're going in the direction of, she's so close, but she loses. Everyone's upset and they feel bad for her. I mean, her story. How could you not cheer for Tatum Paxley? But I'm not going to cheer for Tatum Paxley on Saturday. I'm cheering for Jacy Jayne. Jacy's going to beat this girl, and then she's going to go on to the next victim. That is what Jacy Jayne do. Jacy Jayne, all she does is win. She wakes up, win, and then she probably, I don't know what her favorite meal is. I don't know. Once I know, I'll say it. But she's going to eat her favorite meal, and that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry that you guys believe in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and what was his name? Rumpelstiltskin. I'm sorry that you drink water out of the sink, but reality is real, and Jacy is going to win. So I don't apologize for how I feel, And if you have a problem with that, y'all at a wall because you ain't gonna that shit ain't gonna work for me, pal. So let's go.
All right.
Oh,
let's go.
I got a question about let Wrestling Dog go first.
Yeah.
I think you would have liked to have answered that question before I
feel
give
like I
my
have.
take.
Oh, you want me to give the answer?
I mean, you have
yeah,
answered the
please.
question, but apparently George forgot.
You guys want
so.
to do?
I have no problem answering this. So I have no problem admitting when she was in Toxic Attraction, I was not a fan.
I was.
You was.
I was for the record, and
I
went to high school with her as well. I always have to do that. If I don't
No,
say
you
my
do
catchphrase on here, it would not
Bring
make
it
it an NXT show. So I had to do that.
No, you do not.
You know,
No, you do not,
I have
Matthew.
to get like
Yeah,
a pit
she
guard.
she
I
threw in
say
the
that
Matthew
now,
part.
wanting it.
She threw in Matthew like you're from Boys Meet World. I love that, Mr.
It's
Matthews.
just a teeny,
But
that's
No,
all.
you do not.
Know.
But she-
you know,
There's a few of them
But-
here and there. You think I go bragging about it every single show we're on?
Well, I mean, it did happen.
But to answer the question, it wasn't. I figured that would be your laughing. But I was gonna say,
me laughing, no sarcasm, no.
I was gonna say it was
never good, sir. Oh no.
the good sir stuff.
Okay.
I was gonna say it wasn't day one, but when I started seeing the stuff with her and Gigi, I became a fan and I rooted for it, and I loved the stuff that she did with Chase U, and that's why I will always continue to defend that she was right, Chase U was wrong, and once they gave her a spotlight so she could show her character, because the in-ring stuff was there. It did take me a while to still see that as well. But as time went on and there was a spotlight on her and they gave her an opportunity to showcase what she can do, I started to realize, man, I have no problems in this saying it wasn't day one. I was wrong. I didn't realize your game, but I'm on this train now. I'm driving the train. And I've had people, when you see my stories on Instagram, said, oh, I'm not a big fan, but I know like that's your girl, or like, yo, I didn't realize her talent, blah blah blah, all that stuff. So I will continue to spread the Jacy news here. Mad Dog needs more MD 2020. What's MD 2020? What's that supposed to be? I have no idea what that means. I'm sorry. That's my guy, Crazy Joe. Please explain yourself. But thank you, Joe, for being here. Too sweet to you, my guy. But Wrestling Doll, please take the floor. Who do you got in this match?
Now, like it has been established, I have been a fan of Jacy since before NXT switched over to the 2.0 era, when they were still in the black and goldish era, when they were still doing stuff over at Full Sail. And I do enjoy Tatum's line of work. And we all have to remember that Tatum was part of the very first women's casket match and won. So I look forward to seeing what she will be able to do this time. However, I feel like due to Izzy trying to help, Tatum will not be the one to take the belt off of Jacy.
Nope.
Did y'all think I was going to say that Tatum was going to win?
No. I was just waiting for you to speak.
I love her, but she's not going to be the one to do it. I thought Lola was going to be the one to do it. I had to root for my Cuban sister then, but Jacy proved us wrong.
Mad Dog.
No, yes.
Tatum should go for the North American Championship. That should be her main goal at some point.
Okay. I gotta take the guy who went to high school with Jacy Jayne's gonna take the floor.
Oh my God, this is like
I did it twice. I did it twice in one night. That's actually a record. No, I think the record was 4 times. Actually.
Hold on, let her talk. Let her talk, please.
I
please.
made a new drinking game. Anytime this one says anything about going to school with the woman or saying facts that mean
Sabrina Stella. You know, I have to cut you off right now, darling, because you know that's an awful idea. Because there won't be no show. You'll just see people just like this in the chair.
That's why you have
rude.
one alcoholic drink,
guy.
He's gonna sit here and say it's rude, but meanwhile, he says I went to school with Jacy Jayne like he breathes. Like it's almost like breathing to him at this point. It's like you do it a lot. Like we get it. Like, and you know what? And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, George, I have the yearbook. Yeah. I have a
Well,
yearbook.
I want to see proof. You know what? You know what? I don't believe it.
I mean, she's from my hometown. She was in
Where
the
you from?
yearbook. What? Oh, where she's from? Oh yeah, she's from West Milford, New Jersey. That's where I live. That's where she's from. That's where she went to high school. West
She
Milford High
doesn't. She
School.
doesn't even acknowledge Jersey anymore. She's a Floridian or Floridian. I
Well,
don't know what you
now
guys call it.
she's resident in Florida, but she comes here for Christmas. So
How you know she comes in for? What were you just outside with the
I
Bears?
saw her at ShopRite once. Her and her family was at the local ShopRite. Couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit.
Y'all have a shop, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
we have a
shit.
ShopRite by us.
I
Isn't
didn't.
that
I didn't
crazy?
think y'all had that. I don't
learned
know why. I just thought
something
you.
new.
I literally just thought y'all had road. I didn't know what Jersey has. I didn't think there was no stores there. I just thought it was just nothing but roads and bears, and maybe a deer. Like I want to go to Florida just to see the crocodiles. There's this
No,
thing called
George, I'm not
Crocodile
reading
World.
out my old yearbook. It would
Alligator
take too
World.
long.
I want to go there. I told DC like when I go there, I want to go there. I just want to see them.
What,
She's
New
very
Jersey?
not
It's
impressed.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a magical place.
No, it's not.
Jersey's
No,
a magical place. I live
no,
there. I know.
no, I went there
Love
and I
New
got stung.
Jersey.
I got stung by a bee mosquito. So absolutely not. But please give
Oh
your.
wow, that sucks.
Yeah, that is bee
Moving
mosquito.
on. Jayne retains, ladies and gentlemen.
Jacy's gonna
Izzy
win. I'm going to
Dame
do.
will try and help, like Wrestling Doll said, and screw everything up. And poor young Tatum Paxley, as pretty as she is, and I like Tatum Paxley, good in the ring and very pretty, will lose and get kicked out of the cult. And then that sets up Deadline where you have Izzy versus Tatum, and I'm looking forward to that match. At
Well,
Deadline. So,
you know, it's interesting that you say that because maybe it's deadline or maybe it's a special show. So there's a special show. I don't think there's a name for it, but I sit here and wonder if they do it at the New York show or
oh yeah,
is
that's
there,
right.
is
I
there
don't
no,
know what the names that's gonna be.
there's no theme for it as of right now, but like sometimes they have a theme show, so maybe they save it for that because I don't know how long they want to.
Right? They did Roadblock, right?
Yeah, like something like Roblox. So I don't
Yeah.
know if they want to stretch it out that long because deadline is in December, if I'm correct. So
yes,
I
yes,
just
December
don't.
6th, if it stands.
And that's and granted, we're very close to December. I mean, next week is the last week of October, but I just don't know if they want to stretch it that long. Is my point.
You
But
might be right.
carry
If
on.
they do it MSG, that's a big thing, and that'd be big for Izzy and be big for Tatum. If they do that, I was gonna go to that show, but then I saw the price and I was like, hell no.
Well, honest, I mean, real quick, before we get to the next match, I looked at those tickets for NXT. So if you're going to Raw, I sit here and go like, God bless you for going because I thought about going, but them tickets were crazy. NXT is a little bit more forgiving. Like their prices are not
I've
as
seen
ridiculous.
them, still a lot,
So,
but
yeah,
still a
no,
lot.
that's fair. That's fair.
All right, we're on the main event. This, if I can find this, it's gonna be Whoop That Trick versus Ricky Starks. So Ricky Starks versus Whoop That Trick.
You want to take the floor first, Sabrina?
Yeah, okay, I might as well. Okay, we know for a fact Ricky's gonna retain. I think Ricky's gonna retain. This is gonna be a fantastic match. The only reason why I see they put this on Trick Williams is to run it back with Oba. Oba comes back, and then him and Trick can, do that whole thing, maybe a deadline. But I don't know. I see like Ricky's gonna retain. I just feel like, well, they gave him the belt. He hasn't had the longest with the belt, so I think he's gonna run. I think they're gonna run with him at least. I don't know if he'll stand and deliver. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Oba will get back. Maybe someone else. Maybe Trick will. But I've been hearing a lot, and we said on Tuesday, Trick's gonna move up at some point. Now that he's back in NXT full time or whatever this is, he's gonna move up soon, and I don't see them putting the belt on Trick when he's gonna move up soon. What do you guys think? I can't wait for this match, but.
This is an interesting, such a interesting take and stuff like that. So, I got Ricky retaining. Do I think Trick is being called up right away? No, I think that's a
neither do
decision
I.
in 2020 and 2026. I think that they're going to want to run. So Obafemi, do I? I could. So I see George, and he says I don't see Oba showing up at NXT Halloween Havoc. I kind of do at the end, though. I do see him coming in and having a face off
I
with Ricky.
stamp.
I think that Oba, he never got his rematch, and I don't think they're gonna want him to go up to the main roster without having that one final shot at the title and stuff like that. So I do think he shows up at the end of NXT at Halloween Havoc. I think that they run that back, and I guess what makes it interesting to me is where does this all fit between Oba and Trick, because for the whole year they've been kind of dodging each other. Yeah, they had matches, and all those matches that they were both in with triple threats. It was never that one-on-one, and now I wonder, like, when do we get that one-on-one? And there's I feel like neither one of these men should leave NXT unless they settle this feud, because they've never had a one-on-one, and I just don't think that sits right. They go to the main roster and they never settled this beef. I just don't think that's right. So I got to sum it all up. Ricky retains, and somehow we get to Oba and Trick, and then we get to somehow the rematch between Oba and Ricky.
Real quick, before we get to wrestling at all, do you think they'll do that match at Madison Square Garden? Because that would be a big one besides Stand Deliver. I thought it would be a Stand Deliver match, but do you think they would run that at the MSG show in a couple weeks? I think it's got 2 or 3 weeks.
I think that's such a really, really good question. I do. I think that's one of the big matches that you do put on MSG. I think that's one of those matches that you need, because MSG, when you go to, even though I don't know if this to be a theme show or anything like that, like how when they came up here in March, it was Roadblock, and they really stacked that card. Hardy's against Fraxium, Oba and Moose, and there was a few other things on there. I just don't. Julia and Stephanie. The
Hardys were even there.
Yeah. No, but Julia and Stephanie, they main evented. So I do think you want to stack that card, and this match has a lot of heat. Talking about Trick and Oba, I mean, you can literally make a package about what happened in January to now. So yeah, I do think so. I do.
All right, wrestling. I'll take the floor. What do you think of this match?
Well, that is basically answered who I think is going to win.
There we go.
I'm trying to do it with the mat, but it's hard.
I don't care for Trick Williams to rehab the belts anymore. Ricky, let him have fun with them. Let him fight other people for it. Let's have these talents go up against a new champion, not someone they've already dealt with many a time. The only one who needs to deal with him, that's dealt with them many a time, but only with other people, is Oba. They can go at it whether it's for the belt or no belt.
Matter of fact, George, that's what you were saying, but not for the NXT championship. See, that was the thing. It always seemed like that was the reason that they were going to face each other, because Trick wanted that NXT championship back from Oba, and that's why he even crashed out. But it's looking like when they're going to be fighting each other without the NXT. And it's interesting because, like, Trick only wanted to fight Oba because of the NXT championship. I could see somewhere where he just looks at Oba like, I don't want to fight you anymore. You don't have what I want. You don't
interest need it, because there's such a personal story there between the two. I don't think they need the belt for this match to happen. You guys know what I mean? Like, I still think they're gonna run this match without the NXT championship being in the way.
Well, now they don't, but honestly, the story did circle around the NXT championship.
Oh, it did. Absolutely.
It always did.
Belts like Jacy, right? At the time, Trick was like, "Ooh, I want another belt like Jacy Jayne, because Jacy Jayne's the greatest."
No, but even before, he won that TNA championship, he always wanted to get that rematch. There was always like this underlining, like somehow that when they saw each other, there was that tension, and it was always for the NXT championship. Now he did want to have two belts once he got the TNA championship, and obviously, Jacy's success, and she was the knockout in TNA, the knockout and NXT Women's Champion, and it was like, oh yeah, well, I would like to taste that and do that too, meaning like that success. So But it's going to be interesting how everything plays out. And I mean, we're not going to have a review on Saturday, but we will be back on Tuesday and give thoughts about the Halloween Havoc show briefly before we break into NXT regular and talk about that week's show. So I look forward to doing it with you folks. And just to highlight George, he says Ober will get his rematch and lose. Then we'll get Ober versus Trick Williams 1-on-1. I almost want to sit here and say I think you get that first, Ober and Trick. I think you get that first before he goes and face Ricky. I think you get that first.
Now I have to ask before we get off the air, Becca, you have something you wanted to share with us tonight? A little something.
You know, it is pretty late, but I will save it. It's a minute and some change. I did a special ref thing, but I'm going to save it for Tuesday, and we'll put it as our commercial because, I mean, we really went through a show. It was fluid, and you know what? We were on track. We'll save it for the off the rail show on Tuesday. So please tune in Tuesday. I actually edited the video to just maybe 20 minutes before we went on air, but I will save it for Tuesday instead.
All right, well, I won't be there Tuesday as it was already addressed. If you guys did not know, if you guys just joining, that's why I took the mask off to get serious from it before we leave. This will be my last UPR show for just about a week or two, possibly. I'm going in for a weight loss procedure. I gave all the details. Go watch Tuesday. But I just do want to do a quick send-up. I know you guys are going to be great. I'll be watching you guys from the hospital because... trust me, besides all the walking they want me to do, I'm going to be around doing a lot of just waiting around. It's going to be a lot of that afterwards. But yeah, I'll let you guys know what's going on, obviously, in the chats and stuff. And I'll let everybody know on our social media. Stay tuned to my social media and UPR. I will let everybody know on how I'm doing and the recovery. And hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be back on the air reviewing NXT with you guys. So that's why I took off my mask to get a little bit serious before we end the show. Because, I just want to say this is not my final. I'll be back. It's going to be a couple weeks. So, yeah. But that is Halloween Havoc, ladies and gentlemen. I am Matt Mad Dog, Kelly, Jason, Voorhees, Kelly. I'm going to put the mask down because that mask is so, it's wooden. So it's really hard, like on my face, like it really is like.
How did you even breathe with that?
Kinda.
I was gonna say, how did you even breathe
cool
in
mask? It's like one of those authentic masks. Anyway, another point. I'm Mad Dog. That's Bad Guy. Do you guys have anything else to say before we get on out of here, guys?
Peanut butter and jelly is great.
Okay, that's good. Anything else, wrestling? No. Anything else? No. Okay, I'm Bad Guy. I'm Mad Dog Kelly. That's Bad Guy. That's Wrestling.
I was gonna say that's gimmick infringement.
Don Callis family is amazing, by the way, and we want Cross. Okay. Oh,
I'm with that.
We want Jericho WWE as well. So we want that. All right,
you could tell Sabrina Stella's so excited. That's why she was just rubbing her tempo because she was trying to get it all together, taking the Don Callis family. That's what happened. She was just like, man.
Of course, Don Callis family is amazing. Make sure you guys go watch all of our shows. Let's plug them real quick before we go off. I know it's getting a bit late, but I still want to plug them. We got on Monday, Rated R Review Show, Big Daddy Cool, Steam Willie Beeman, and Executive Sultan. I'll be back hopefully next week. On Tuesday, you got the trio. Well, next week it's going to be the duo. It's going to be us. Well, Bad Guy and Wrestle Doll. Wednesdays, you got all the Heat podcasts. That's Cactus, Katie, Sheriff, and Venomous Mints. They were great last night. Sometimes we do prediction shows, and I believe Bad Guy, you have an announcement about tomorrow night's SmackDown with Z, the SmackDown Penitentiary. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I'll be joining in. I'll be making a pit stop to the penitentiary. Z, Vic is taking some time off, and I saw Z didn't have a partner. I did the Monday Night Raw show. I do Tuesdays, obviously.
That,
and I was
go check that out, guys.
And I was just like, why not make a stop on Friday nights and review some SmackDown? SmackDown had been fun. Well, last week was fun. I forget what the other weeks were, but it was pretty fun last week, and I'm going to stop by and join Z. So
10:15 Friday night. Do check that out. We are out of here. Matt Mad Dog, Wrestle Dog, Bad Guy. They'll be back next week. I'll be back in 2 weeks, everybody. And let's go Halloween Havoc. Very excited for a happy Halloween, everybody. Bye.